This is Shanghai's inner city, where the Wus were one of 5 families to whom we were introduced. Civilizations differ in many ways, but they all come together in the family. 3 generations of the Wu family live here. Son-in-law Fan Di-shun, age 35, his son, age 4, and his wife, one of the Wu's 5 children. They share one room. Grandfather Wu is 70. He is retired on a pension of $20 a month. He has something that is rare in Shanghai, a room to himself. Like 2/3 of the homes in the lane, there is no bathroom or indoor plumbing, except for a cold water tap. Public toilet and bath facilities are nearby. Privacy is one luxury the Chinese still cannot afford. By 7 o'clock, everyone in the house is up, including 2 other grandsons whose parents work in other cities. Their breakfast is typical Shanghai: sweet dumplings, porridge, and what can best be described as the Chinese version of a donut. Food, housing, security. From generation to generation, the family had to solve these basic problems for itself. The government has taken over these problems now. It wants the family mobilized to work on a 20th century problem: modernization. Since the Russians, the last of the foreigners, left in 1960, the Chinese have been determined to go it alone if necessary, whether as a nation or as a neighborhood. That means to increase production, everyone who can works. Grandmother Wu is taking her grandson to a nursery. As in most families, both his parents work. The lane operates its own small factories, owned by the neighborhood, not by the state. Formerly unskilled housewives now make money for themselves and for local improvements. At the toy workshop, it is tank week. Next week, it might be trucks or chickens that lay eggs. In Shanghai today, almost everyone works. Private life is public. In the hot, humid summer, the street becomes the living room. There is no air conditioning for homes. If there is friction between neighbors or between the people and the government, we did not find it here or in our conversation with the Wu's daughter and her husband. Do either of you ever dream of having a home of your own?
We like living here with my father and mother. Without my parents, it would be very inconvenient. Of course, things are very good now. Our son is in a nursery. We don't have to be so restricted. For instance, we can go to meetings at work, even if it's called on short notice. We can concentrate on work without worrying, or go to a movie at night, the 2 of us if we want.
All parents everywhere have hopes and dreams for their children. What hopes and dreams do you have for your son?
We do have hopes for him. I wish he could become an actor, because I myself worked in the field of literature and art, so it might influence him.
Now he's very fond of movies and plays. When he was smaller, I asked him, and he said he wanted to be a soldier. He's very healthy. He can also be an athlete. When he's grown, I hope he can do what the country needs as well as what he likes.
The grandfather, a retired cook, cooks for the family now. The small living room also serves as family room, study, dining room, and as an extension to a small kitchen. The family pools its income, about $90 a month, a third of which is spent on food. There is electricity, but no gas. Cooking is done on 2 coal stoves, which are also their only heat in winter. Ecology is not an issue in Shanghai. Nothing is wasted, not even a drop of peanut oil, which along with rice and cotton cloth is rationed. Our impression in Shanghai was of abundance, not shortages. There is extra food tonight. Another of the Wu's married daughters and her son are coming for dinner. Traditionally in China, the family came first, the individual second. The country was always a poor third. Today, the government says, country first, the family second. There has never been much room for individual choice. Not 2,000 years ago, not now. An individual can't move or change jobs without permission, or read whatever he chooses. Now, at least, he can do things he's never been able to do before. A man can retire. A woman can have a place in the community. A child can get an education. The Chinese believe in planning, but if there are limits to freedom, there are also limits to planning. 800 million people cannot be forced to be of one mind. The revolution